about towers of stacked containers, know that these 20 container houses are nothing like the battered and dented hovels found in dystopian movies. With that said, let's jump right in. Container House, Austria. Our first container house on the list sits pretty on a cliff overlooking the Ötztal Valley in Austria. At first glance, it may not look like it was made from 14 different containers slapped together, but it most definitely is. The real kicker is that the house was built over 2 days. No, we aren't lying. Assembling the containers took a ridiculously short amount of time. Given that Austria is pretty darn cold, especially in the mountainous Tyrol region, extra insulation was added so that the occupants wouldn't freeze. All of that, plus internal design work, took only a matter of weeks. Shipping container guest house. Not everyone wants to live in an entire house made from shipping containers. And who are we to judge? Still, a shipping container guest house is a good middle ground, as petite architects showcased with their charming little project. Even though design options were limited, a little elbow grease and clever planning turned this shipping container into a house perfect for guests that want a little privacy. Or for hosts that aren't too fond of their in-laws. Calkins 12-container home. While not the first shipping container home, Adam Calkins is definitely one of the most inspiring structures to come out of the early 2000s. One might think that making a house from a shipping container means having a small home. Calkins certainly threw that idea out the window by building a small mansion out of 12 reclaimed shipping containers. The front of the house is dominated by an enormous glass wall, with the interior opening up into a spacious living area and a surprise around every corner. Who knows what each container holds? A library? A bedroom? A doorway to Narnia? As we go through the list, it's becoming more clear that when it comes to container homes, anything goes. Von Würfel, container mini apartment. Houses are expensive. There's no escaping that fact. As populations grow, land becomes scarce and very pricey to everyone that isn't born a millionaire. Therefore, apartments and mini houses are becoming more and more popular. Von Würfel, or Living Cube in English, is a mini apartment complex made out of shipping containers. These living spaces are popular with students while they are studying, as they are far cheaper than most student accommodations. Plus, no dorm mates means no fights over whose turn it is to do the dishes. Container Build Group, luxury homes. A life of living in luxury may not be quite so far out of your reach as you might think. Not if you fork out the dough for a container house like this one. Luxury homes by the Container Build Group somehow go from zero to hero in a matter of weeks, with batches of repurposed shipping containers being slammed together and given a makeover until they look like the kind of homes you see rich TV personalities living in. This luxury home was made from 7 containers. As you can see, inside and out, you wouldn't be able to tell what this house used to be. Where can we sign up for one of these? Shipping House, Cape Town. Cape Town is home to a container house inspired by changing how we build homes and lessen our impact on the environment. This may shock you, but the average house uses up a lot of resources to build. Shipping container houses are an extreme form of recycling, and there is no better proof of what can be achieved through this effort than Stefan Smith's design. Balanced on a cliff overlooking the sea, this container home flows with the landscape, and it even incorporates a large boulder jutting from the cliffside. While not all of us go to such extreme measures, who could turn down waking up to a view like this every morning? Minimalist 20-foot shipping container tiny house. Shipping container houses don't always have to be huge. They can resemble tiny apartments too. And we can't talk about tiny homes and not mention those created by Tony Lopez of Alternative Living Spaces and Chris Buonaiuto of A2U Container Living. While a 20-foot living space is not for everyone, for some, it is the perfect home. These tiny houses are made from a single shipping container, retrofitted to be picked up and integrated with water, gas, and electric utilities anywhere they are provided, and have everything you need, including a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and lounge space. Maison Container by Patrick Partouche. There are shipping container houses that disguise their former lives with spackle, an angled roof, and a coat of paint. And then there is Patrick Partouche, who created the Maison Container project to fully embrace the concept of shipping container homes. Internally, this home has been retrofitted for insulation, electricity, and other utilities that help keep us comfortable and safe. Externally is another story. Besides slapping on a fresh coat of paint and some wooden panels, Partouche did little else to hide the fact that this house was made from containers that once were used to haul goods across the ocean, and he even kept the original doors attached. Shipping container house in El Tiemblo. Speaking of shipping container houses that embrace what they are, there is a home in El Tiemblo that leaps behind this idea. Although a bit of an ugly duckling on the outside, the inside of this house is sleek and modern, with stark colors uplifted by warm wooden decals and plenty of natural light. Stepping indoors is almost like being transported to another world, and we'll take that experience any day of the week. 5 shipping containers turned into a cozy modern home. Debbie Glassberg is the proud owner of 5 shipping containers. Now, this might not sound all that impressive, but when we show you what she did with those containers, you are sure to be impressed, and maybe a little envious too. Glassberg's home is a cozy and adorable place to live. The design team clearly had some fun with this one, turning a handful of shipping containers into a home for the modern person. Shipping container conversion by Building Lab Inc. Stefan Schupp is the modern craftsman and problem solver all in one. When his building team grew beyond the garage stage, and rather than rent out expensive office space, Schupp picked up a few pre-loved shipping containers, some spare materials left over from jobs, and a few of the lads, and built himself a brand new office. And house. That's one way to use leftovers, right? The Crossbox House. The French know how to make good coffee, good wine, and good shipping container houses. Well, the more you know and all that. The Crossbox is an eco-friendly house made with families in mind. Without sacrificing all the amenities and small luxuries people deserve, Clement Gillette Architects made a house with minimal costs, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. Building your own 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-lounge room house can easily cost just under $500,000 nowadays, whereas a house made from shipping containers can cut costs by half, perhaps even by a third. Now that's the kind of math we like to do. Container summer residence. Who wouldn't want to work within walking distance of the sea during the summer? Well, definitely not the people at Design Boom. When the weather started getting warmer, these intrepid folks decide to pick up their bags, grab a few shipping containers, and break out the DIY skills to make themselves a new office in Sardinia. Sure beats working in a noisy office building. Beach house built from recycled shipping containers. Why not just build your own luxury home from shipping containers? Is what designers behind this stylish house in the Hamptons clearly thought. While this little beach house certainly doesn't appear like it was made from half a dozen shipping containers, it most definitely was, and also outfitted with some of the most high-end, eco-friendly, and sustainable gear around. All of that, plus a swimming pool and a large deck, and it is no wonder that the thing is being sold for over $1.3 million. Earth-cooled shipping container underground. Retiring in the countryside is the dream of many people. For Steve and Shirley Rees, they took this idea to the next level. Rather than buying a cottage or a townhouse, they bought 2 shipping containers and buried them. Yes, they buried them. Underground houses aren't all that new. In fact, people have been living underground for millennia to escape the heat, and Northern California can get pretty darn hot come summer. The Rees live completely off the grid, with self-contained solar and water systems. And because they live underground, they don't need to run their air conditioning 24/7 come those hot California days. Because there are so many awesome and interesting shipping container homes out there, we rounded up a few extra projects that we couldn't pass up. Jean Nouvel's Shipping Container Restaurant. Why eat in a restaurant when you could eat in a shipping container instead? As part of a refurbishment project in West Paris, a guy named Jean Nouvel launched new buildings made from shipping containers, a restaurant, and a greenhouse. This building is enormous in scale, surrounded by a bare-bones scaffolding for some arty philosophical reason, we guess. Regardless, it looks awesome, and hey, they grow some of their own food too. If you ask us, that's pretty cool. Altera Beach Resort uses shipping containers for private glamping cabins. there's camping, and then there's containering. Pinamar, a small beach resort, slapped together 2 pairs of shipping containers to make a set of private cabins for those that wish to see the great outdoors, but don't want to sacrifice the comfort of modern living. Now this is how you holiday in style. Box Park Shoreditch. Pop-up stores are trendy little shops that draw a lot of attention. Thing is, they can be a bit of a pain to pack up and move when it's time to bustle onto a new location. Well, the creators of Box Park Shoreditch have created a whole pop-up mall made entirely out of shipping containers. Come time to relocate, all the store owners have to do is strap their stock down, shut the doors, and let the crane do